He's going to Coulthard. He's going to have it out with David Coulthard.
The 1998 Belgian Grand Prix has to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Formula One race in history. So much happened in this race that in order to get it, you just have to watch it. It was a wet race that started off with 22 cars, and by the end of the race, there were only 5 cars who finished in 3 lapped cars. What we'll be discussing today is the chaos that ensued between Michael Schumacher and David Coulthard. Picture this. It was a rainy Sunday afternoon in Spa, like torrential downpour type. The McLarens were 1-2, with Mika Hakkinen on pole, David Coulthard second, and Damon Hill in the Jordan third. Michael Schumacher, who was Mika Hakkinen's title rival, started fourth. Mika Hakkinen had a strong getaway, but it was his teammate David Coulthard who caused a little bit of trouble. When I say a bit of trouble, I mean a lot of chaos. In the spray of the cars ahead, DC spun across the track and into the trackside wall, causing one of the craziest Formula One crashes in history, with 13 cars being involved and the race being red flagged. Luckily, there were no serious injuries to the drivers involved. Since the original race start was voided, the cars involved in the incident were able to rejoin the race with the spare cars that they had. Upon the second race restart, only 15 of the 22 cars took place. Damon Hill ended up taking the lead, and Mika Hakkinen and Michael Schumacher were in a battle for position. Mika Hakkinen ended up spinning out and crashing with a Sauber, taking them both out of the race. This meant that Michael Schumacher had second position, and with Mika Hakkinen out, it also meant it was game on for Michael Schumacher because he would effectively take the championship lead away from Mika Hakkinen. Michael Schumacher was then able to take the lead away from Damon Hill on lap 8, and he was on a charge to win this race, to the point that he was nearly 40 seconds clear of Damon Hill with only 20 laps left. While Schumacher was on his way to lap David Coulthard, DC pulled to the right and lifted off to allow Michael to pass him, but he was still on the racing line. And as the visibility was little to none due to this spray, Michael Schumacher drove right into the back of David Coulthard's McLaren, taking Michael out of the race. And he was mad. Big mad. They both made their way back to the pits, Michael with only 3 wheels on his car, and the minute he got out of his car, he angrily stormed to the McLaren garage to confront David Coulthard. He was convinced that DC did this on purpose and accused him of trying to kill him, and according to David Coulthard, he also threatened to break his nose. Both Ferrari and McLaren personnel had to separate the two because that's how intense it was getting. Damon Hill went on to win the race, and this was Jordan's first Grand Prix win, which was truly a sight to see. In the end, a week after the bust-up between Schumi and DC, they both ended up having a private conversation and came out shaking hands. And while this was not the most controversial thing to happen in Formula One history, it certainly was one of the best races and the most insane moments.